tech vlog. I'm using my webcam. I'm not setting up all the camera equipment or elaborate sound equipment. I'm not doing like promotional stuff. I'm just going to talk about a topic that just interests me right this second. As I was browsing YouTube and whatnot, I found some pretty interesting videos about Priest and Bostin Loyd. Apparently Priest called out, I hate using that word, he just mentioned Bostin Loyd and probably just decided to wrap it up into a video. I bet they walk around that studio filming him all day, wondering which one of these, gigabytes of video we have of Priest can we make into a video today. But he decided to talk about Bostin Loyd, and the thing is, they were talking about a subject which I pay particular attention to and talk a lot about, and is part of a mission statement in my business practice. But I want to start off by saying, I'm in no way in the same league as these guys. I haven't even reached my genetic potential yet. I'm still going. So I wouldn't even if I were to consider doing hormone therapy, I'm not even close to that point yet. So when I train people, I really talk about the benefits of not doing hormone therapy. But when I see two people who are pretty open about it and very honest, these got to be the most two honest people about their drug regimen that I've ever met, or not met, but I've ever seen on YouTube, and I respect them tremendously. And people give Bostin Loyd shit, and I bet he's a really cool person in real life. And Priest, as we all know, is definitely probably one of the coolest guys ever. But the thing is who do you believe? You have Priest, who obviously looks a lot better. Sorry, Bostin. And you have Bostin Loyd, who has built a reputation of being brutally honest, and he is honest because he's telling you exactly what he's taking. Whether or not it's dangerous or not is different. He's still telling you what he's doing, and it worked because he want to show. But as I pointed out in a lot of my other videos, you can definitely look good and not be healthy. And the same is reversed. You can look like shit but still be healthy. So the looks aren't really a good correlation as to what you're doing is going to be healthy for you. What you're doing could be shit for you, even though it might help you win a show, if that's your priority. Now, what Priest is doing is erring on the side of caution, and he's telling the truth. I believe he is. Why would he lie? He has nothing to gain from this. He's telling people that he used to take very, very small amounts, and this correlates to what people used to tell me when I was a youngster, really young, in my teens, and I used to ask people all the time in the gym, how do they do their cycle, and that's exactly what they would tell me. They'd tell me the same kind of stuff that he's telling everyone else on YouTube. He would say stuff like, "Oh, I just do one cycle," and he'd reference a really small dose, and that would be this whole cycle for the year, and it would have a small, very powerful, anabolic window because of his training and the way he's consistently trained since he was 14, and that would be it. And that's a great way to safeguard his endocrine system, because once you fry that, you can't go back. You have to be on hormone therapy just to be at factory default. So you want to be very careful with that, which is why that's part of my mission statement. Anytime I can make a video or do something that can hopefully circulate YouTube to maybe not go viral, obviously, but just to help at least do something to boost up the reputation of being all natural, because obviously no one gives a shit if you're natural or not. Well, most people don't. It's a choice. Who gives a shit? But if I can help, hopefully, prevent a kid from doing something wrong. Because let's face it, if I were 14 again or 15 again, I'd be going through the same motions, even with all this information out there. I believe that I would pick an idol. I would emulate his life to a T, and I would just do things by trial and error the same way he went, and it would be a disaster probably, unless somebody told me otherwise, that I also respected and that I also believed. So honesty is the key, and that is why both these guys can potentially be so dangerous, because they are being honest. And Lee Priest is someone who's been working out since he was 14 years old, dedicated, hardcore, with great intensity, great discipline. He commands respect, and that's why what he says demands to be listened to, and that's why it has a response. And that's why he had a response video from Bostin Loyd less than 2 days after, because of who he is, because he has that kind of respect. So when he says something, you should probably listen. And what he's saying right now is that you should really err on the side of caution, and you don't need much. And his physique, which is obviously great, is proof positive that if your goal is aesthetics, then you do not have to drown your body in massive amounts of hormones. You can still win a bodybuilding show with his style physique, and you can still make a great career from bodybuilding with that kind of a physique. So you can really err on the side of caution still and maintain a good career and get a lot out of it. Okay, you might not be a Jay Cutler or a Phil Heath, but you can still get up there and you can still do it, and your health won't suffer. And not saying that their health is suffering, genetics play a role, but that's the key here. And so I'm trying to add to these myths and hopefully dispel them, that large amounts of anything are necessary. Because the truth is, large amounts of anything is bad for you, and we all know that, even water. So why would you want to drown your body in drugs? So, who do you believe? Do you believe the guy who everyone says looks like shit? Honestly, I don't think he looks like shit. Bostin Loyd looks 10 times better than I'll ever look. Or do you believe the guy who has an award-winning Olympia-style physique, and who still has one, actually? You want to err on the side of caution. If you're really going to take this plunge and potentially destroy your body forever, why would you jump in head first into the deep end? Why would you do that? Why not test the waters? Why not take the safe route? Why not experiment with simpler things, with all natural stuff, to see how your body responds? The point is to not just jump in, and it's a myth. It's a big fitness myth that you need copious amounts of whatever to achieve a desirable physique. Because honestly, as Lee Priest has proven, training will trump out those drugs any day, because he's been doing it consistently since he was 14 with hardcore intensity. And that is the difference. He started young. He started as a clean slate when his body was primed to change his phenotypical expression of his muscles. If you start when you're 20, you still have a lot of room to gain, but it's not going to be the same as if you started when you were 14 and you went all the way to the top to where you were 35. It's just not going to be the same. Even when you're 18, there's a very narrow window when you're young, about 14 to 19, when your body is so anabolic and primed for change and adaptation. That's exactly when you want to start anything physical, and bodybuilding is no different. If you're going to be an award-winning Olympia-style athlete, if you're going to be an award-winning Olympic-style runner or a bodybuilder, you start when you're young. You figure it out when you're young, and you capitalize on it. You start there, and by the time you're 19, you will be at the top of your game, and that is when you need to take advantage of everything you have to offer. Because no one will tell you this, and this is why I hope that my videos will gain some attention, because I am trying to be as honest as I can. You will never be as strong as you are when you are 14 through 19. That's just true. And by strong, I mean you will have the most amount of potential. Okay? And that means if you push yourself to the max every single day, you will never achieve the greater numbers than you are when you are 14 through 19. That's the God's honest truth. I'm sorry. A lot of lucky people will max out their potential a little bit later, 25, and some extremely lucky people will max out their potential at 30. But you really have to push yourself, and that is my point. Training trumps out the drugs any day, so stick to the training. Do not focus so much on the drugs. Just train your brain out. Just go to the gym and just crawl out. You want to just hobble. You want to look like you're in a wheelchair to get out of the gym. That's how you have to train, honestly. You don't want to walk out of the gym like you just had a social event and you want to be tired. Sorry. Well, anyway, This is a random vlog, and I got shit to do. So hopefully that helps somebody. And well, I'll see you guys next time.